Well, well, hello everybody. I'm Abby Hagyard, more or less. Hang on a second. Welcome back. Well, my goodness gracious sakes alive, and wasn't that a wonderful experience that we went through last night? So I'm so excited, so thrilled, so delighted that everything was coming together, is coming together. It's fabulous, it's beautiful, it's wonderful. Followed immediately by slam, thud, ow, click, hello, is anybody in there? Um, technology is a challenge. I would say that's the safest word. And this is not a challenge. This is a life-saving cup of something. So here's what happened yesterday evening when last we left our relentless Viking. We discovered fabulous, surprising things about technology. All new, all different, all the time. And this, by the way, and just before I carry on, I want to show you something really pretty cool. So to my right, your left, is mom, and just in front of her are the Care Bears and whatnot. And then to my left is a pretty sharp varsity jacket that is the product of many, many days and nights of brainstorming and chatting and coming up with and waving it away and laughing hysterically. And it's really quite sharp. The back is just a typical varsity jacket, and I'm so proud of it. And the team is so proud of everything that we're doing. And then yesterday, everybody who looks at show business from a distance thinks that it's a cruise. Yeah, and it isn't. It's more like a frantic mad dash to stay ahead of whatever that is in the water over there. And somebody has just messaged me. If you're messaging me, I'm on video. So here we are with a conversation that took place last night, frantically, 1,400 miles apart, down in Interlaken, Florida, and then all over the great states of United and whatever we're calling this up here at this current moment, according to various world leaders. And and we discovered that there was a glitch in thinking that it was just a matter of let's just do this together. It'll be fabulous, darling. And it could have been, would have been, should have been. And thank God, Dewey Sean's office is full of all kinds of stuff, and he knows how to carry a camera around and look at stuff and talk to people and generally entertain. Because for no reason that any of us understood, we couldn't get me linked into the video, which I had which I had created. So the unforgettables are also the moments that give us pause. So what I wanted to talk about today, and oh no, by the way, not for nothing, the theme for the video was, how was your day? And then we had one. Excuse me just a second. So what transpires for us is that we pin our thoughts and our focus and our hopes on a thing, on something, because you have to. You can't just get in the car and sit in the driveway. What we often fail to do, and usually I'm pretty good about it, and I've gotten better at it with age, is that you have contingency plans. And the thing is that too many things were going on. Too many balls were being juggled in the air simultaneously. And there is absolutely no way that one thing that needs to be clear and solid and correct is going to work if we're using all of our other energy to do this stuff. It just doesn't work. And we found that out very, very clearly last night, that everybody trying to help and then realizing that we had fundamentally missed the essential first step, which was clear the decks, clear the path, and make sure that we have the faintest idea where we're going and why and how. And so I was exhausted. I was devastated. I was frustrated. And I went to bed and said, clearly not mine to own tonight. Clearly something else is going to happen instead. And typically the next thing that happens instead is a course correction that was supposed to be the right one all the time. And we just got sidetracked. We just got focused facing the wrong way. And now this morning, after some troubled sleep and some long self-searching, I said, okay, we have a video to do this morning. And here's the thing that I discovered that is the most fabulous, fabulous, simple hack. And finally, when I had finished trying to piece together why it didn't work, how it didn't work, what the plan is moving forward, I remembered the simple hack and I used it. And then I fell asleep and it was great. I didn't remember to use it until it was very late, but never mind. It did give me some sleep. So the thing I want to talk about today is how, and there are no comments, and so either I'm not actually live, it's just me here, or everybody's pausing and sipping their coffee. In either case, it's all good. So what I discovered yesterday, day before yesterday, when I was looking through some of my notes, is it's a physiological thing. Well, good morning, Chris. Present. Good morning, everyone else. Oh, good. I'm so glad you're here, Chris. It's so nice to see a human voice on a chat thing, as opposed to staring in wonder in silence. Physiologically, the body has a lot of coping mechanisms that are just plain simple. I had a very in-depth chat with Anne Urquhart a few days ago. She has a lot of, we're going to say, legitimate allergies, legitimate situations, and then they're stress aggravated. So you get a thing that is a problem, and then you get a thing that is all filed up and wired up and frantic and panicky. And so when she has an allergic reaction, it's on steroids and it's playing Viking death metal music. So I had remembered an old wives' solution for allergy, which is to calm the histamine. Histamines are in here and in here, and what they're doing in here, they're protecting us from invasion. And the old expression that people vaguely remember, perhaps, is "go soak your head." Go soak your head. And usually it's taken as an insult. A politer insult than the ones that often spring to mind. And in fact, it's not actually an insult, it's an instruction. And what they tell you to do is get a bowl or a bucket or a pail of very, very cold water and submerge your face in it. Not the whole head, just everywhere that you can trigger an allergic reaction. So eyes, nose, mouth. Into the water. Take a deep breath first. Into the water, not for very long, just a few seconds. Back out. Have a towel ready. Pat yourself down. And all that happens, it's very simple. All that happens is all the alarm bells have been temporarily silenced. They've all gone, what was that? And it takes the panic a moment to reset. And while there is no panic, you're not accelerating the allergic reaction. You get a chance to reset. So it works when you have a cold. It works when you have the flu. It works when you have anything that is coming in through this part of your body. Anything that is invading, you can essentially put it on ice. You can freeze it. Doesn't have to be ice, really, but you can slow it, and you can give your body a chance to say, all right, where were we? And yes, Charles, I know you do. And so this the meds don't work, because after a while you're taking too many meds and your body says, I don't know. So Charles, you should try this. What you do is you and if you don't have a bucket and you're out someplace, always carry a face cloth in a Ziploc bag with you, and a bottle of cold water. What you do is you pour the cold water on the face cloth, take it out of the bag, obviously, pour the face cloth, and put the face cloth on your face and just hold it there for 5 seconds. And then wring it out, pop it in the bag, put the cap on the bottle, and you're good to start. It's a reset. It's pivotry in motion at the pure physical panic defense mechanism level. The reason we have difficulty remembering to do that, I look like I just fell off the side of something. The reason we have difficulty remembering to do that is we're in the middle of a panic attack. And so we're focused on panic, panic, panic. If you are pre-approved, if you have all the tools at your disposal and you know how to use them, then you can say, oh, that's right, and grab it and try it. So anyway, Anne tried it, and I got this astonished message from her saying, well, well, boys and girls, Maggie Muggins, that works. And I said, I know, right? So in that same vein, and by the way, I need to say good morning to everybody. This has been very rude of me. Good morning, Vern. Best laid plans. Yes, well, there we are. And Charles, and of course, Freddie, I know you're here. And so, and all of the rest of you who decided to check in to see if I'm alive and well, whatever that was, we are definitely, the team is going to take a closer look at and figure out how to pre-plan earlier to get it right, because it was supposed to be fun. It was supposed to be a lark. It was supposed to be an indication of how we can come together and override the things that stress us out. And crazy synchronicity, we were given something that stressed us out. And it was a whole lot of tap dancing on everyone's part. And we survived. Here we are. Here I am, alive and well. Dewey is alive and well. I've heard from him this morning. We are all going to make it just fine. We're just going to have to take a step back and figure out how to get untied from the dock. So with all of that said, one more sip of coffee and then I'll tell you the hack today. There we go. The hack today is how we slow stop spinning thoughts. How about that for timing, right? And a spinning thought is this. The spinning thought is the brain frantically trying to find a solution. And the more frantic we get, the more unrealistic our expectation is. And then we stop thinking and we just start running in circles. What needed to happen yesterday was I needed to stick at least one foot and possibly an elbow into a bucket of ice cold water, because that would certainly have calmed me down. Mostly when we have the spinning thoughts, it is either because we feel we're letting people down, we feel that we have everything in place and somehow we've missed something. And we just so desperately, badly, beautifully, wonderfully want it to be amazing. And it's easy to forget in the moment that amazing sometimes takes a little longer. So with that said, I want you to think about this as a crazy thing. And then you'll try it and you'll say, how does she even know this? So spinning thoughts make us breathe shallow. They ruin our calm. They ruin our ability to think. They ruin our momentum. And by the way, they're pointless. If we're spinning about the past, it's imaginary. If we're spinning about the future, it's imaginary. The only thing we know for absolute sure is right now. Right now is all we know. If we don't like what right now is, if the water's rising, okay, then this is what we need to do. We need to be in charge. We need to clear our heads. If we feel we can't be in charge, which is what happened to Dewey and I and Warren and a bunch of us last night, there was something we could not figure out, and the clock was ticking, and we felt like we were letting the team down. Here's what you do. You hum. This is from the woman who is not supposed to make any musical noises because it causes the utmost damned astonishment. And yet, in spite of that edict, the bylaw, I've managed to at least hum, if not sing, on every show I was ever hired to appear on or voice on, much to everyone's everlasting what? Why? And it somehow worked. And so there's the faith. When we hum, our brain empties the conscious thought vault, the in the moment. What if this? What about that? Is that pie I smell? Why is the dog here? I don't own a dog. All that stuff. When we simply hum, a hummy little hum, as Winnie the Pooh was fond of saying, for, again, 5 seconds, maximum 10. We can close our eyes if we like, but we don't have to manifest. We don't have to find a thing and go boom and resonate. We don't have to do any of the other stuff. We just stop. Closing the eyes is sometimes good because it takes you away from the thing you're staring at. Close your eyes and hum. And then stop and realize that you haven't been thinking anything at all for those 5 seconds, which means I'm humming, but then I can't hear you, remember? Well, you're humming. It's not that you need to hear me. You hum, and then don't type, don't try to do, don't double task, just hum. And then ask yourself, what am I thinking? What was I thinking? And the answer is nothing. You had a break. And what I've been saying to you lovely people for a long time is that effectively humming is a later folder. Humming takes the immediate now what and sets it aside and gives us a chance to shift out of whatever that spinning gear is into neutral. We're in neutral while we're humming. We're in neutral while we have the cold, damp face cloth on our face. We're in neutral. When we take the face cloth away, dry our face, when we stop humming, we are now able to shift into a gear with purpose, with intention, with clarity, and no spinning. And when it dawns on us that, oh, wait, how about that? It's a huge sigh of relief, because part of the panic with the allergic reaction, part of the panic with the spinning thoughts, part of the panic with realizing that things aren't working, that button isn't working, that the brakes aren't working, and we're in traffic, is the feeling that somehow our little boat got untied from the dock and we don't have an oar and the wind has picked up and we're now drifting. And none of us like that. None of us like that unsettling feeling. Dewey and I have talked a lot about the way people are feeling as though they're drifting, the way people are feeling as though we don't have control of the oars. We don't have control. We pulled the ripcord on the motor and the motor fell off the boat and we have the ripcord. We are feeling that we didn't get the instructions and it's terrifying. And as Vern said, of course, we're not ever really multitasking. We're just juggling faster. And the speed at which we try to overcompensate to get ourselves back to a safe space of feeling that we got this, or we're going to got this in a minute, is overwhelming. And nothing comes of it. Nothing good comes of it. We exhaust ourselves. And the story that goes along with that has been pretty much every other minute when I've been involved in a show on stage. When you're here and you see something out of the corner of your eye and you realize it's a problem. And well, there you are, Freddie. I knew you were going to be here. And The story actually involves a very, very dear, long time friend of mine who was very allergic, like seriously need the pen allergic. And we were doing a stage show together, and he ran in a little late, as always, and ran through the actors lounge, grabbed a cookie, threw it in his mouth, kept going. All he had to do was quickly change, realized that what the cookie was made of was something he was allergic to, significantly allergic to, spat it out, too late. He grabbed somebody, handed them the keys to his car, and said, "The EpiPen is in my car. I need it. I've just eaten this." And then he changed and presented himself on stage, or just off stage. I was already on stage, and I could see there was a problem. I could see that people were milling around and panicking. And so, fortunately, the character that I had and the role I had, it's so good to see you, Freddie. The character I had and the role that I had allowed me to shamelessly be silly and drag out my character and do funny things, which I did. I dragged out the character. She was a Cockney housemaid. She was offered a liqueur, and she said, "I'll have the big glass if you don't mind." And so the other actor poured what looked like creme de menthe, please, into a water glass. And I just stood there on stage and I slowly and inexorably drank the entire contents of the glass. It was water. But the noxious sweetness, if you've ever had that particular liqueur, every cell in your body goes into revolt, like Canada Post on strike. And so the audience was laughing. And I just dragged it out as long as I could, And I had one eye. I had one eye on him. And I saw somebody running in with the EpiPen. I saw them give him a jab. Before that, I saw him drinking ginger ale and spitting it out, trying to flush his system. Didn't work. EpiPen. He had remarkably good shape. He recovered, wiped the sweat, and he walked out. And we carried on with the show. All that I was doing was that shift out of gear into neutral, neutralize the moment, distract the audience from what's going on, what's taking so long, is everything okay? Should we be checking the car? I wonder if the children are all right. The contagion of panic and fear can be overridden by the contagion of laughter and silliness. It's the opposite side of the coin. And fortunately, once I recover, I do have that ability to go and find silliness, go find the thing I can do that calms me, go find the space I need to just be. And what is so difficult is that none of us really realizes that there are people like me out there who have been through a remarkable number of things and have found these simple hacks that just get us out of the raging torrent enough, just elevated enough to catch our breath and rethink what we need to be doing. I've practiced it for so many years. My whole life, I've practiced it. I've found that there is a way out of the frantic and into opportunity, into calm, into, okay, I have this and I have this and I've done this. Either I remain invested in my sunk costs, or I take a fresh look at my sunk costs and say, which ones are essential and which ones can be reinvested. I've learned that. I just need to get to that safe spot. I need to get out of the raging torrent. I need to be able to get that step back. And sometimes it's hard. And if it's hard for me, and I'm good at it, I can't even begin to imagine how hard it is for some of you who have not had the opportunity to practice, who don't have the scars we've actually named, because They've been with us so long. And I want in a video like this, in this series of videos, I want to be able to present to you an, oh, right, Abby Mom. If you want a silly answer that makes you giggle, well, we have a mom for that. If you want an answer that is funny and sardonic and don't make me come over there, I have a Viking hammer. I know how to use it. You can get that kind of answer. And if you want the tap dancing singer who's not allowed to sing to show you where the stones across the pond are, you have that as well. We are all in this together. And I guarantee you, I've only taken quick snippet looks at the news. I guarantee you, as I said to a couple of my clients a year ago, this year will not go out quietly, and the new year will not come in quietly. This is a whole resettling, restructuring of all kinds of energies and imaginary creatures and egos that aren't listening. And it's the only thing that matters to us, the only thing that matters to us is that we feel safe. The only thing that matters to all of us is that how we do that is together. Choose you to choose us. And it works. And when you realize it's beginning to work, you can just stop everything for 5 seconds and hum a hummy little hum, and then say to yourself, good, clean slate, starting over in 3, 2, and it will work. Lovelies, it will work. I guarantee it. So here we are. It is Thursday. It is episode 316. Next week, episode 317 and 318, I'm going to be broadcasting, chatting with you on the 24th of December and the 26th of December. And I know a lot of you will be busy. I know you will be up to your ears and eyeballs in all kinds of stuff. And I wish you well. And then there will be the rest of you, the rest of us, who will not. It will be quiet. And maybe the toughest thing this time of year is finding joy in the quiet when all around us people are celebrating the noise. Finding the joy in the peace and the recognition that we're not alone. We're never alone. We all have each other. And looking forward to the next time it isn't cold, snowing, sideways, raining inexorably. Because the wonderful thing about the rain is eventually it stops. The wonderful thing about the wind is eventually it dies down. And the wonderful thing about us is when we're out there in the wind and the rain, we have the certain knowledge that when it's over and or we come inside, we can always get dry. We can always find something else to snuggle into. So when you're worried about that, when you're thinking about fire alarm, I'm going to bid you a wonderful week. Don't go crazy shopping last minute stuff if you don't have to. Remember that the best gift, the biggest gift, the lasting gift is how we feel and how we share their feelings with the ones we love who love us back. All right? Keep that in mind. You make all of this possible. And I am so grateful that you show up every time. This is 3 years we've been doing this together. And it's the best part of my day. Okay? Be good to you. You deserve it. Remember to hug your loved ones. Catch you next time.